13 Action News starts now with breaking news.
And as we come on the air tonight, we have that breaking news involving those flock cameras. License plate readers still under fire, with the Lucas County Commissioner calling for law enforcement to stop using the cameras, at least for now. It comes as we're tracking a string of vandalism on those cameras in 2 different communities. Over the weekend, police received 3 different damage calls in less than 24 hours. 13 Action News reporter Matt Mergen is live tonight with where those cameras were hit and the questions raised over safety and accountability. But first, I-Team anchor Sean Haggerty breaking down the county's push to put a pause on the use of those cameras and the sheriff's response. Sean standing by live.
Yeah, at this point, Lee, it's only Lucas County Commissioner Pete Gerken. He wants an audit and a pause while all that happens. Gerken plans to roll out his concerns tomorrow morning, but here's what we know so far. He wants an independent audit of the county's use, and he's going to lay out the findings from a 1-month audit that he's acquired, detailing how often they're used. The research that he's found so far, they researched more than 900,000 times the Lucas County data in just 1 month. 3,200 different groups, law enforcement agencies searching. The one that searched the most, more than 71,000 times, the Houston Police Department. Now, as for a pause, Lucas County Sheriff Mike Navarre released a statement saying there will be no pause. In fact, they have a contract that runs for several more years. Navarre's statement documents how effective the cameras are, and they could have been. Here's a quote from Sheriff Navarre. In the 1970s and 80s, there was an abundance of serial killers across the country. In Toledo, 2 brothers, Anthony and Nathaniel Cook, murdered countless victims over the course of several years. The use of surveillance technology likely would have identified them after their first crime, preventing the others from occurring. Researchers have concluded that the use of modern science and police surveillance technology, significant factors for the sharp decline in serial murders today. The sheriff goes on to say, Ted Bundy murdered 36 young women before being caught in Florida. We should be giving our officers more crime-solving tools, not taking them away. Otherwise, we make it easier for criminals to avoid apprehension. That is a statement from Sheriff Navarre. Now, he compares the effectiveness of flock to the effectiveness of DNA testing for police. Now, we're going to hear from Commissioner Gerken tomorrow morning. That'll be at 10:30 a.m. You can see it streaming live on 13 Plus. Lee?